Right, there we go. Got a little bit of resources, the ring that we wanted, and there we go, you've leveled up. Now, since you're such a low level, I wouldn't mind getting you some new items, but Destructive Word being more powerful would be nice. Especially since it does poison damage. That being said, Headbutt is quite the skill, because it does damage and slows the enemy down. And it can be used in 2 different types of battles. So yeah, we're going to go with Headbutt. Start leveling that one up. Right, you've just made that item. Fantastic. I'm going to give that to... Well, honestly... Yeah, I'm going to upgrade our Chosen's protection. There we are. Got 34 protection in every battle now. Has anyone else got a low protection item? You have. Let's swap that one out. We'll just go through everyone and find anyone who's got low protections. This one is a better one. And we've got a couple of people who don't even have anything. 3.8. That's good enough. We'll pop that one down there. There we go. Alright, it's coming up to night time, so we don't necessarily want to be out and about just yet. But at the same time, we've still got one island to investigate here. Which one is this? Oh, that's the spiders area. Where's King Arathor? Oh, that's bloody miles away. That will be quite the pain. Might be worth going to, though, but quite the pain. Okay, that group over there is a little bit worrisome, though. Svietelko? I'm not sure. Enlightened Human is probably the more dangerous of them, though. I don't mind going and messing with the Lightbringers a little bit, but let's quickly take stock of our current quest. So, King Arathor. Way forward was blah blah blah. You found a treasure map. You managed to pass the bridge. You can now find the treasure. The bird measured your worth, has chosen so far and said that you must unlock your true potential if you are to truly aid the gods. You chose to follow one of your divine domains to discover more. And Lightbringers. Gods visit your dreams, whether willing or by force. You are marked as chosen. The bandits are willing to let you into the Red Cave, but only if you deal with some scavengers that are bothering them. Or a pesky demon living in an old mine. Both locations should appear on your map. I'm assuming that these are the scavengers. There. And this is the mine. Actually, I can't quite tell. Divine Path should have made that a little bit easier for me to locate. Sure. But we're probably going to go ahead and start working on a boat, honestly. Making a ship right now would be tricky, because of the enormous cost to do it. I could make it out of bone if I really wanted to. I don't, but I could, and it would have a carry amount of 4,000, but that's not good. It would only be able to move 5.8 tiles as well. It's really not good, actually. Yeah, you can found multiple towns, but you need seeds to be able to do it. Alright, well, instead of that, then, I'm going to be a little bit boring. I'm going to pass a bit of more time, allow the... Well, actually, we're in fall, aren't we? No, we're in winter for 12 more turns. Everything is going to be a little bit easier later. Scorch. Characters lose between 1 and 5 health each turn when outside the village. Characters with low health may receive physical curse. Scorch lasts 2 turns. Well, I think we're going to just stay put then, I guess. There's not really much more that I want to cook, but... yeah. Oh, there really isn't anything I want to cook. Could look at armors that I could make, since I'm fairly certain a couple of people could benefit from an upgrade. Got medium armors made of sandstone and silver. We've got malachite robes made from blood, bone, and malachite. Dazzling robes made from diamond and enchanted leather. Down here we've just got someone with wooden leather, so we can definitely best that. Ruby robes, simple leather robes made of leather and shadow bone. Topaz robes, fur robes. So we've mostly got robes, but I think that's largely because I don't actually have many people with the sort who are just straight up fighters. Got two hunters though. Let's have a look. Can I make you something better out of medium armor? Let's first see what we would get if I made it out of just regular leathers. Yo, it's Alex. Welcome, Raiders. You caught me playing something other than RimWorld. Because I don't have a problem. I can sell whenever I want. And I'm proving it right now. Yeah, that's right. How are you doing, everyone? Randy has no power here. Come, sit down, rest. It's okay. You're safe. For the time being, you may get killed by gods, but Randy won't be sending you any mech raids. You're safe. It's all right. How was the stream, it's Alex? Hopefully, you didn't go downhill from where I last saw. That would actually be tragic. He's like, yeah, we're so close to 12. No, Aavak, I've only got 4 now. It was a terrible time. How are you doing, buddy? Let's get a shout out in chat for you. I very, very much doubt that anyone in my chat isn't aware and familiar with Italics, but if you are not, then please do follow that link. Give him a follow. He's a fantastic, sometimes variety streamer who occasionally gets addicted to RimWorld. I swear, between the two of you, I could watch stream for 24 hours straight. Quite possibly, actually. That might be a thing one day. You got a bit turned around in one of the weirdest caravans you've seen. Well, I know what VOD I'm going to be watching when I'm done with the stream. I'm not sure if Thea's gods aren't worse than Randy. Well, I mean, there's more variety, certainly, but Randy, I don't know. Those mortars, man. Randy and I don't see eye to eye on explosives at the moment. Thank you very much, though, everyone, for dropping by. Welcome, readers. We are currently playing, not that this screen really shows you much, not that this screen really shows you much, we're currently playing Thea 2. A turn-based role-play strategy game. If you've got any familiarity with games like Disciples, this has a lot in common with that, or at least in the way you play, although it might look like this is a bit more of a civilization-like map, and there are some similarities, some parallels you could draw between that. This is very much played on a much, much smaller scale. We have got a settlement in which we have a bunch of people with various stats and various equipment. We build the equipment and we level up the stats depending on what we do. In fact, a lot of the stats and abilities are given by the equipment that they use. We are the chosen of one of a pantheon of gods, and we're trying to fix the world because it's gone a little bit awry. That's the long and short of it. This game is incredibly deep. There is an awful lot to do, and very, very heavily inspired by Slavic and kind of Middle and Eastern European folklore. The caravan filler episode was pretty interesting. The fact that this yeah, sometimes you do just like sit down for like 9 hours of RimWorld and realize that that was basically a filler arc. You didn't intend for it to be, but it was in the end. President Nose said, Aavak, if you decide to build a boat or a ship, please try to consider weight of the item itself. Yes. If it has not been patched, you might get the same rude awakening as I had. The total weight of a ship can carry on sea includes itself, too, since it is also an item in your inventory. Yeah, no, you do have to be quite careful about that. At least if you're going from one dock to the next, it's not so bad. But if you're going from wherever you built the ship to, I don't know, just going to make landfall and hopefully going to be keeping the ship because you made her of incredibly expensive materials, well, you're going to have to hope that your group can carry the bloody thing. Okay, Aavak, besides the starting island, which island would you settle on if you had a boat to begin with? Cough. Streetbog. Cough. I like the shroom goblins, honestly. They're pretty chilled out because of the shrooms. But yeah, that's a nice spot to go to. But it's coming up to nighttime when the monster's going to be particularly aggressive. So and also the sky is trying to kill us right now. So we're just basically passing a little bit of time indoors. And while we're doing that, we're looking to build some nice armor for our peeps if we can. I note a decided lack of high-quality leathers, though, and this makes me very sad. Also, not very many high-quality woods either. That being said, I would be able to pop that down. I'd get it's almost the same. How heavy is this? 3, this is 3.5. I think we're going to go with that. It's much do about nothing really in that one, but we could go with some metal, maybe. Could use some silver. Give 34 increased shielding, or I could get 12.6 increased shielding, some better health, and some even better health. So a flat increase to the wearer's health, and then a percentage increase as well, which would actually be quite nice. Alternatively, I could go with this, I suppose, and see what that does. So just a flat increase to health and a flat increase to sanity, which would be good. I actually kind of prefer this one, if I'm honest, but my lord, it's a heavy piece of armor there. A dark medium armor. Oh, thank you so much, E-Lab. The MVT has arrived with tea. A suit of armor sturdy enough to keep you safe, and also to weigh you down a little bit. Yeah, I think we're going to go with this one. That health buffer there can keep people alive in a big way, so let's get that done. It'll only take me 2 turns to make it, and by then the scorching event will be gone, which will be nice. But if anyone in chat has any particular questions, then please do ask. How long has this campaign been going for? 242 turns so far. It's not actually that long of a campaign in normal terms. Though you can easily beat the game in this amount of turns. And I haven't even left the newbie island. But I've got a very well-developed group of people, so once I start making progress, I'll probably start to steamroll a bit. And there's lots of different ways you can play the game in that regard. If you are speedrunning it, then you are going to be facing some gnarly fights later on that are going to be super touch and go. However, we've got a fairly strong group at this point with some very well developed skills. Also, I was fantastically lucky early, and yeah, my main character ended up with a fantastic skill just randomly when he was born. My Tainted Shaman has the ground shake ability. Probably one of the best abilities in the game, in my opinion. Yeah, if you get good rolls at the start, you can speed run the game in about 180 turns, somewhere around there, maybe even 150 if you're very, very good and very, very lucky. But this we're probably, in terms of content, about to leave the early game. But in terms of capabilities of our characters, more in the mid-game. Yeah, there's a reason for that, Troll Potato. I die quite often in the first 50 turns. What's the goal in the game? Fixing the... There's a couple of main quests. There's one specific to your god in particular, whichever god is your patron deity. And then there's the overall... Yeah, the world is kind of weird. And the sun has come back, yay, but it really burns. I mean, it always burned, but now it burns with malice. It always burned with... It burns with eldritch malice. And that's a different kind of sun. There is no sunblock that protects you from that kind of sunburn. And so we're trying to work out why and if we can fix it. Is this game that hard, or are you playing around too much? I play around quite a lot. There is a lot of RNG, but quite often when I play, I will play on a higher difficulty level, and I will stupidly give chat the option to pick what starting boons I have. And quite often, if you give them a chance, they'll be like, yeah, you should have your main character be a rat. That goes about as well as you think it'll go. Right, our armor is made. One day I'll learn to stop listening to chat and just play the game my own bloody way. It'll be a good day. Is this better? Well, no. I'm going to keep that on Apocalypticon because having a high health warrior, obviously pretty good. But I think maybe you would benefit from this one. Whilst it is going to drop your overall protection, it's going to rise your sanity and your health a little bit, which I like on what is effectively a main fighter. Raptor, I'm going to give this one over to you. You're not very... Well, actually, you're reasonably strong. You'd be able to carry a lot more, but it's a bit of a decent option there. Have we got anyone else with absolutely abysmal armor? No, not really, though. Jake Toady has only got decent protection in physical fights, so I am actually going to drop your overall protection in physical fights in order to lift your protection in both mental and magical combat. Yeah, chat is the Randy substitute in Thea. That's pretty much exactly it. Though, let's be honest, chat is always Randy. And you can take that comment as you will. It's pretty much true in every way you can take it. At least at my chat. Right. Okay. It's night time. And fighting in the dark is never really a good thing. But at the same time... Got 9 turns until the end of winter. Thank you very much for the subscription, mate. Diolch yn fawr. I have no idea how I'm meant to say your name. Kaon? I'm going to go with Kaon, unless it is K40N. I don't know. Either way, thank you very much for the prime. In every aspect of the word, indeed. Well, that was not a bad little item there. Do I have enough to do it again? Is the question. Could go for the silver, though. It's not amazing, but that is actually quite high, though. That is getting into a point where putting that on an archer would genuinely be good. Of course, making a better bow for an archer is also quite a nice option. I've got 15 elven wood, and the difference between dark wood and elven wood, they're of the same tier, but dark wood is wild. So it's harder to work with, but it has more wild power to it, whereas elven wood is improved. Dryad wood is the same tier as well, but elven wood is improved, so it's lighter, has a higher value, so on and so forth. Dryad wood is kind of the base of that tier of wood. I could make an enchanted leather elven wood bow. That's not a bad little bit of damage there. This would have flat damage and poison damage. So it'll add 3.9 damage no matter what. And if the enemy has lost any health whatsoever, damage is multiplied. But I think we could do better. Dragon Bone, maybe? We could have poison damage and life leech. I've got no way of adding stone into this. So, well, actually, maybe I do. No, I'd have to make something for that. I could have an Elvenwood and Silver Bow. This would have true damage and poison, so deals 150 damage if the target has any armor whatsoever. And then also multiplies damage if they're wounded. But that won't ever be the case. They'll not have armor and be... Well, I suppose there are some instances where you might be able to pull that off, but it wouldn't be particularly common. I could go for diamond... Oh, wow. Okay, a diamond crossbow. Okay, area of effect. So it would add a vertical splash to this weapon. That's not so bad, actually. Area of effect life leech is kind of interesting. Or I could just go straight up with 2 times damage for my my archer's perception. Let's have a look. What bow have you got there? This one has got true damage and life leech. Again, it's never actually going to be the case. This one is just a basic bow, so it could be improved. And you've got an amber crossbow. Once again, fairly simple weapons. Alright, let's go ahead and make a bow then. I can't afford the diamonds. I don't have enough, but I can afford rubies. And we can just make an elemental weapon here. I'm not a big fan of splash damage, so I'm going to be honest. Poison splash damage? I don't have enough essence there. Maybe if I use... No, I can't. I could use this one. Maybe it would get me enough. No. Just shine. Alright. I guess we're going to go with this then. Air of effect and life leech. Though the only issue with this bow is it's only useful in physical and spiritual battles as a consequence. Whereas this one's just purely spiritual. Ah, sure. Let's go for it. Let's make you an upgrade. Which encounter system do I like better? I prefer Thea 2. Not even a contest on that one. I actually much prefer Thea 2's encounter system. Let me get you set up, and then I suppose you can have an upgrade of an amber crossbow if you want one. Each weapon, by the way, comes with a different type of attack, and some of them come with quite a few different types of attacks. A character by themselves has innate skills. So, for example, my Goblin Shaman here has the weakness attack, the brute force attack, which can be used in any type of battle. Is a goblin, so gets certain bonuses. The weakness attack, once again, can be used in any type of battle, but it is a... This is a skill that's used outside of the combat phase. So I don't have to play the card into the battle to use this skill. Ground Shake, however, is pretty much so good that I'll never use anything else it's got, so it doesn't really matter. It's the sad truth of having a ridiculously OP ability. I want to create a new expedition. Dark Aavak is going. I'm going to want a healer, so Shadowstar is coming. Crafty Old Goat is coming along. Our Witch. I'm going to want Apocalypticon, Warrior. Malakin? No, I think Malakin is going to stay. I think Malakin will stay here, though. I don't know. A lesser magic user wouldn't be bad to have about, but I feel like leaving a magic user in town would make a lot of sense. Shadowstar has got Master Healer, so we don't need to worry about bringing a dedicated medic. I think we'll bring along Future Planet and Jake Toady. There we go. Now, the only issue here is I've not brought along a dedicated crafter, which does worry me a little bit, but I think overall this is a strong enough party. Idiosyncrasy, thank you so much for the 4 months, mate. Literally could not have asked for a better birthday gift from you. Oh, well, Penboy Happis. Thea 1 and 2 are still my fave series to rewatch on your channel. What does Thea 1 do better than 2 in your opinion? I think the crafting system is better. Like, a lot better, actually. I generally like the way that you have to set up a game. There's a lot more replayability in having unlocked abilities based on the kind of meta progression of your godly experience, but then having to spend that to unlock abilities that you can then buy into your game settings, because you've got a limited amount of abilities you can take with you and a certain amount of points you can spend on them, so you have to kind of balance that out. You can have wildly different games with the same god as a consequence of that, and I really, really do like that. I'm going to bring this along, all of them. I'm going to bring these along, all of them. I'll bring along these. No, I don't need... Well, okay, we'll take half of them. There we are. I've got 34 turns worth of food. Don't need it, but we'll take a decent amount of everything. A little bit of this. I really don't need that much. I mean... split that up a little bit more. I definitely don't need that much either. There we go. I'll bring along half of these. Honestly, usually I just take 10 of every type of food that I've got, as that'll give me a good variety of food out on the road, and that, in turn, will mean that the morale of the group will stay very high. Is there anything else I want to bring? I don't think there is. I think we're good as is now. This is a fairly potent group. We're obviously going to need some wood as well, though, thinking about it, because it's winter and it costs a lot of fuel to warm yourself by the fire. Right, close. Now I'm going to go back into Dragon's Rest and make sure that people are gathering things that are going to be useful now, because I've just changed all of that up. Could you gather some wood? We got enough food here to last us for an age. Don't need you crafting. Don't need you researching. It's now a fairly small group. Gather some seaweed, gather some fruit. They should be okay to handle themselves. One of the other things I really like in this is that you've got a limited range in which if someone engaged, like for example, if I was like 3 tiles away from my camp and someone engaged the camp, my warriors in my expedition would join in the battle from afar. That is actually incredibly nice. Alright, let's get out there, see what there is to see. Got a nasty battle over there that I'm a little bit worried about, but... Aavak, you scallywag, you made me buy Thea 1 and 2. I did nothing wrong. I think that I have helped you, in fact. You should be thanking me. Thank you very much for the cheer there. Not sure if it was just the mod pack I was playing. Oh, this minute's talking about Minecraft. I just wish better... Okay, looks like quite a lot of people in chat are talking about Minecraft at the moment. Has something happened in Minecraft recently? Should I be away? Okay, well. I'm gonna try and get over there and have a bit of a fight with that group, honestly. But from here I can do a little bit of gathering of nothing in particularly good, which is kind of sad. We'll just gather some grain. Add a little bit of extra stuff to my list of gubbins. And the other two of you can gather some iron. They're going for the bait. No? Yes? No? Interesting. Alright, well, generally in Thea, you being the one to attack is almost always the best thing to do. Almost always. Because you'll get a lot of choices based on the skills that you've got available to make the fight easier for yourself. I don't think I really want to have an extra ability here. No, we've already got decent abilities here. We'll go with Dizzying Powder for Mass Lullaby. We'll just improve that one. Alright, break camp. And, alright, once again, you can have a look early on at what you're going to be facing. Most of them have very low physical. But if we have a look in there, what kind of damage can they do? It looks like they're probably the weakest in a mental battle. If we have that an option of that one, it might be good. Just to see if that's true of all of them. Oh, well, you've got reliable argument. So I think that was the same one. Yeah, they've got a spread of skills, but nothing particularly dangerous. It's the human that I'm worried about mostly. Human's got decently high abilities. Hasn't got much protection in anything but physical. I suspect that a physical fight would be easy enough to win. It's been a stupidly long time since I played last, so I just need to double check one thing. Physical or mystical? Okay, it's good enough for me. Okay, a group of folk taken by the light. The light scourge approaches you. Lightbringers, as they're now known. They do not speak. They seek only to bring you into the commune with the light mind. We will either fight for a bit of a tougher battle or face them with spirit. Honestly, as long as it's one of the ones... Okay, they've brought the entirety of my village as well. Not really what I wanted to do, but sure. You can auto-resolve it if you don't like the battles, and we would get a perfect victory here. So no one would even be hurt, but I'm going to play it out anyway because I want to refresh my my mind on how things go. Okay, so as a spiritual battle, you've got a decent amount of spiritual health. You do 9 damage and you'll target the closest person to you. I've got 34 protection, like armor, in this battle. I could just go ahead and use an attack which will do 26 damage to 3 random targets, or something which will do damage to every target on the battlefield. Hit them for 30 damage and slow them down by 2.5 seconds each time it happens. And I think we're going to be going for that one for rather obvious reasons. Who else has got a pretty high spiritual defense? You know what? Apocalypticon does have a pretty high spiritual defense. And a lot of health. But, like, not very good at doing damage in a spiritual battle, so I'm actually going to have you summon your Wraith. They can guard Dark Aavak, because it's not going to matter if they die, because they're a pet. They never actually die. Even if they get defeated on the battlefield, they just return to you, and you patch them up. Whereas if one of our characters got messed up on the battlefield, they might actually die in the coming turns, but that's never a concern for a pet. So that won't matter. Dark Aavak's first hit is not going to take you out now, but that's fine. We'll play the card again. Now, whilst I've put Dark Aavak on the battlefield in 2 places, they are still the same well, each one will attack differently, but they're instanced of the same person. So if, this is always a risk, if anyone damaged this card would take damage as well, because they're the same person. Their health is the same, it's just they're going to act twice in the fight, but that does open me up to 2 opportunities to take damage. And likewise, if someone had an ability that could hit 2 enemies at the same time, and they both hit the Dark Aavak card, it would mean that I would take that damage twice. So it is a risky move doing that sometimes, but I'm fairly confident in this particular battle. It looks like they're not playing the other cards. I'm not really sure why. There must be a particular problem with them. Okay, well, you've got armor, so if you ended up taking a turn first, which you will... Actually, this one is going to strip your armor away, which is a little bit of a pain, but we'll live with it. Now, these cogs here are basically the pips that I can use to purchase cards. The first time you play a card, it costs 1. Second time, it'll cost 2. Third time, it'll cost 3. You'll almost never play a card more than 3 times as a direct result of that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you'll never, ever have enough to play a card 4 times. You can play 1 other card. Oh, you scallywag, slowing me down. You can play 1 other card that only costs 1 if you play any single card 3 times. What I could do is speed Dark Aavak up, I guess. Got someone who has that? Yes. So Inspire decreases the delay of the selected ally's action and increases this character's combat attributes. So let's go ahead and do that on you. It's going to make you a bit stronger, which will affect both cards. It'll also move you in the turn order. Got anyone else who can play an ability like that? I could summon Unliving Rat, but that would cost health to play, which I'm not really too keen on. I could just slow you down. Didn't quite reduce your turn to the point where Dark Aavak can act first, but still. And that was the consequence of them being the same card. But the other cards in the hand haven't died, so now we're basically attacking the cards in hand, and it's now completely random what's happening. But they still had 1 card left at the end of it, so we actually do need to kill that one before we can move on. But since those boons that were given to the character, not the card, but the character, and the card is an instance of that character, that speed up and increased damage still applies to Dark Aavak. So we've got a little bit of extra damage potential there. I don't really care for you too much. Let's get out an Unliving Rat there. Sure, you'll lose a little bit of health, but it's fine. I say a little bit of health. It's almost a quarter of your health to put that rat on the table. I have regrets. At this point, I just want to speed Dark Aavak up, really. And I'm going to do it again. The only thing that's going to be able to move faster than Dark Aavak now is the Undead Rat. Pets always have a turn counter of 0, which generally means they will always go first. Though once they've been played, someone can place something on them which will slow them down. But that's the only time that really affects anything. Do I have a Mass Lullaby? I think I do. Yeah. Let's hit all of you just for good measure. Yeah. And this fight is really already over. Does Malakin still have that teleport swap move? I will check for you right now. We've got a bunch of gear there. Take this stuff and leave. Got a bit of EXP, and the Lightbringers hate us a little bit more every single time. But you wanted me to check out Malik. Did I have Malik in this group? I don't think I did, actually. No. So, we need to go over to the town. Malikin. Yes, Dark Shift. You can bend the reality for 2 allies, filling them with dark energy. This switches their initiative and gives them dark shielding protection. Oh. This is... Right, I need Malikin in the main group for that reason alone. I'd forgotten about that ability completely. Malikin, you're coming out for a bit of a wander. Who am I going to leave in your stead? No one. No, we're just going to take Malikin with us. Come along, Malikin. We've got no more moves, but it's fine. Dark, mysterious powers and war keys, indeed. How blessed are you? Right, Xantos. Generally speaking, the completely safe pill scales based on intelligence. You've got nothing really that scales based on your mysticism. So as much as mysticism is a +2, I'm going to push up your intelligence. Now. I don't remember which one of these was the quest location. I honestly don't. There or there, but either way. I think we'll find out in a moment which one's which. You gonna come and have a fight? Yes, you are. Face them with our spirit. We don't get to choose this time because they're the ones attacking us. And sillily, I didn't even check. But let's refresh my memory on how Malikin's abilities work. All right, let's get Dark Aavak into play. Right down there. Now this is a very wide battle. If the enemy has a lot of cards, they're going to be able to play an awful lot of enemies in here. Okay, you played that character twice. That means that Dark Aavak by himself is going to be able to kill you. And if you're going to keep doing that, I'm just going to keep buffing Dark Aavak. Gonna save the cogs, my opportunity to play units. I don't really need to do anything. I want to see what you do first. Okay. Well, I've got enough that I can play Dark Aavak a second time. And use... Is that ability not... Oh, that might be a physical fight only. That's annoying. Okay, well, I'm just going to get another unit in front of you. Right, hi Kaiser, take a good one. Have a good one, mate. Take a good one. I mean, take a good one too if you want to, but mostly just have a good one. Now, because they're just straight up attackers, odds are they're not, through any combination of attacks, going to be able to get through my front line and be able to attack my back line. Their turns will be spent getting rid of my front line. And even that, not not particularly well. You just lost your level 17 witch to a pirate orc with reach.